Foods or something potentially, and we could donate the chai and the milk and sell cups. Our chai is very popular in Boulder as well, so we could do something like that, and I'm sure we would raise a fair amount of money, especially selling chai um, at Pleasant View early in the morning.
Yep, you can pull right up on next to the ice truck, the flavored ice.
Yeah, so if we could get some boys out there, I'd be happy to set up our tent, donate the chai myself, and get everything prepared to do that. So
That's great.
So Don, we would obviously need to get permission from Pleasant View. Is that what we need to do?
No, I need to double check what agreements we have. The club has full control of Pleasant View. When we rent the whole place, which means we have the rights to sell anything we want. So it's basically our park on the weekend, but I need to make sure we don't have some exclusive agreement with one of the other vendors. You know, there's that pie, what are they called? Mountain pies or something?
Mm.
And I doubt we have anyone that's selling chai or coffee, so I will double check, but I'm pretty sure, you know, I'll run it past Fields, our executive director, make sure he didn't make some agreement that I don't know about.
Okay.
That should be fine.
Pleasant View closes soon, so that's one if we want to do. That would be in the next like 3 weekends, right?
Yeah, there's not very many weekends left.
Right.
But you could do it at SPC all through the winter. You know, winter training.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and we have
I don't know.
fair amount some of the spring season, right? Before this trip.
Yeah, I mean the trip isn't until April, so we have a long time, but
I know our chai I believe our chai is served at Avanti, so maybe there's some collaboration we could do there too.
okay, yeah.
I'll check with Whole Foods, maybe King Supers, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, see if they'd be okay with us setting up a table there as well.
I mean that's no different than the Boy Scouts or whoever set up outside, right?
And then I think everyone should know, you know, for the people on this call, or maybe some parents on this that are not on this call, if there are families that are going to help other families, you know, instead of just paying for someone else on the team, if you donate the money to Soccer for Life, the Soccer for Life Foundation, which I run, we can then distribute it to that kid and you will at least get a tax write-off. So you know, if you're going to help another family out with $1,000, it's only going to cost you, you know, depending on your tax bracket, you know, 700. So that's better than, you know, better than the full 1,000.
Yeah.
Or $100, $70, whatever it is. But definitely a step everyone should take before they just pay for another kid.
Can you clarify what the obligation from the families is to attend each of these that you're talking about setting up in Boulder for those of us in particular who don't live in Boulder?
I mean, I think we can set them up anywhere. I think we're just talking about what the club has, right? That we have control of Pleasant View, right? So I don't know. I think we have to decide as a group. I mean, you know, if the kid doesn't show up, you know, if the kid's not there, I don't know that. I don't know. I think you probably have to participate. I mean, a bake sale, to me is like, oh, maybe you can't show up, but you bake a bunch. You participate in that way, but I don't know. What do people think?
I mean, one idea could potentially be is just kind of I guess for lack of better words, take attendance of who's there, and then however much money that event runs, it gets split up amongst the group that is there at that particular event. For these quick fundraisers. On the bigger ones, we can discuss maybe the ones on the next page that were like the Super Bowl polls and all those. Maybe we could say those are going to go for the entire team, and the team will decide how they get distributed. But maybe these quick fundraisers, you're in attendance to be to earn some of that money towards your travel or any other expenses, Spain or not.
Can you make money doing fantasy football? Would that would be something they might enjoy doing and also could?
You could, but the fantasy football is already, they're well into that. That's what we're 5 or 6 weeks into the season, so it's hard to retroactively go back and do that. There might be a way.
I think that's the Super Bowl squares idea too.
Yeah, so
right.
Like the Super Bowl squares, if we raise $3,000, we can decide as a group how we're going to use that money. Are we going to distribute it amongst the entire population? Are we going to use it to pay for flight? Who knows? Whatever we decide to use it on. Maybe we want to take the kids all somewhere, go do something, or just maybe pay for our flights for the entire crew to go to our out-of-state league games or something. We can just decide that way, and then maybe the quick fundraisers where you're actually there working it, the people who are there get split up whatever that money was made. But that's just an idea, just thinking out loud.
I have no idea what Super Bowl squares is, but I'm assuming it's something similar that we could do like for March Madness too.
Yeah, we could definitely do March Madness. Last year it was tight. I think we were leaving. I think March Madness happened after we got back, so it was too late for that. But yeah, we could definitely do. I would recommend we do both. It's easy. You get extended families involved. You can raise money pretty quick.
And Will, it was half, right? Half of the money collected for the squares that was going to the families.
So yeah, it's like, so yeah, you purchase a square for, I don't remember what it was.
It's $20, I think.
Yeah, and then the winners get half of the money and the other half. So it was like $2,000 for the squares, and then the winner would get 1,000, and then the team would get the other half, get the 1,000. So we raised, just on the Super Bowl squares, I think we raised $2,000 alone.
May I make a small suggestion? I think well, I understand the desire to like make sure we're giving credit to the kids who show up to everything. I think some people on our team have a hard time getting to places, and I think instead of saying that everyone should attend everything, say every kid is expected to do 5 events and fix one or whatever it is, and say if you participate in this many, then we all split the money. Because I'm just concerned about certain families who maybe their car doesn't work or they don't have a means to get up to Boulder, etc. If those are opportunities for kids to make more money, then it may be not as inclusive as we'd like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice idea, Virginia.
Yeah, I agree. Do we have, Carissa, do we have a calendar that we can start to set up with all the activities that we agree that we can go forward on that spreadsheet, right? I'm just saying because I'm driving and I can't see this.
Yeah. I mean, so the one that we need to decide immediately is the bake sale at Avanti, and I think we need to decide if we want to do it October 19th or October 26th.
Do we have games that day?
I'm sorry.
No, not yet. We don't have games yet. I will do the 26th, the farther in the calendar, to be honest, to get time to people.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick said that it's pretty crazy, so it would be great. We'd make a lot of money. I mean, I don't know if we could be nuts. We could get kids up here. We could go to PV and ask for money in the morning. I mean, kids are welcome at my house, or we can come back to the Boulder houses and then go back to Pearl Street at night. I don't know.
I will say, like, from a Halloween perspective, like every Halloween party I know is happening that day.
Oh, sure.
And I also have a question. What time? And we don't have any sense of what time that is because Sebastian's running in the state middle school cross country race that day. Like,
no, unfortunately,
I know choice pretty good to that one.
Right. No, the CU. I don't know when it still says to be determined. I don't know what they're waiting for. I don't understand the football schedule.
When it gets based on TV and whether they air it.
Yeah.
So on another idea, Chris, for fundraising, Remember long time ago, one of the things that I was coaching, we did those kind of baskets with candies and kind of fancy thing for Halloween, and going in some neighborhoods that they have wealthy houses that sell that. We're selling those baskets, and we raised $7,000 with a round. It was crazy.
Wow.
we're doing that in Cherry Creek, and it's 3 families were living in there. It's crazy. The $7,000 in one night.
That is crazy. I think what we should probably do is see who's interested in sort of taking responsibility for some of these things and just start working on them.
So, I mean, the chai thing is like super easy for me to set up, guys. Don, if you just get approval on that, give me a date. I'll be there. I'll set it up. I'll run it. Just give me some, send a few kids there, whether it's Lincoln and Boulder, Lanny will obviously come. Henry Henry could come. Eli, whoever else can make it, but that's super easy for me to set up.
Yeah, Glenn is taking the ship. I can take ownership on the car wash. Yeah, I can take that one.
Great. I'm on the Avanti right now. I'm talking with Patrick. So we do need to pick a date there. The parents' night out, do people think that's a good idea?
I mean, is there not a liability issue for that? I don't know. I would bow out of that one personally, but if it makes money, that could be great.
I mean, I think it's great, like kids get to hang out with each other, and I don't know, it seems pretty simple, right?
There's, definitely need to figure out the liability part of it. And Krista did mention this to me before this meeting. And again, need to put some more thought into it, but that could be something very valuable. Not just for this trip, but I mean, and I don't want to steal whoever's great idea it was, but it was a good idea if we can pull it off liability wise, because there are a lot of families that would, in my opinion, would love to drop their kid off to play soccer at SPC while they go out. They're paying for a babysitter anyway.
Right.
Okay. What's SPC? I don't know what that is.
Sports Performance Center in Lafayette.
Yeah, we have an indoor. Well, we have 3 of them, but we have an indoor soccer facility, which I'm sure you all will see this winter for winter training.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't familiar with it. Got it.
So we're rolling in. Yeah, there's 3 fields, little fields, but it's a pretty busy place. And again, that'd be a good place to sell chai. It'd be a good place over the winter to ask for donations and have your "We're going to Spain" trip sign. I think we run, I don't know, 800 kids a night through there.
All right, so Annie and Krista will look into the parents' night out thing. What else? Is anyone interested in like the popcorn sales or the chocolate bar sales?
I would rather focus on bigger one-offs, personally.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all.
The Amazon Smile, is that still a thing?
Yeah, it is. I didn't even think of that. That's kind of like the King Soopers community rewards.
I don't know how much money people get from that, but we used to do that for the kids' school too.
I think it's pretty small. The King Soopers is bigger, but I mean, every penny counts. I don't know if we can do it for just the team or it would have to be the whole club. The club should be doing it anyway, but.
And I was thinking, looking at this, we've only got 10 people on this call, so obviously a lot of people aren't. We'll do our best to get them this information. I think my recording of this might work. We'll see. But I think maybe setting up a Google Doc with these and then sending it out and saying who would be interested in helping headline this, because obviously the 10 of us won't be able to cover all this. So it might be worth us sending it out to everybody. And again, I heard what Virginia was saying. My concern is I just want to make sure people are participating in one way or another and just not sitting back and letting the rest of us do the work for this.
Of course, well, I didn't mean, I totally agree with that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of these are, almost all of them are in Boulder. And I just think a lot of the Denver families might have a hard time doing that. And so just to make sure that, like I said, like a minimum, you have to do a few of these or whatever number we decide, but but then divide it evenly.
Well, and we live, I mean, our house and like the houses around us aren't those huge mansion houses Carlos was talking about, but we live close to the area that he was, I think, referring to. So there's a possibility if I kind of get more details, we might be able to help out